Hello Lions, welcome to The Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. Today we're going to look at March for you guys. This is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node. Because my emphasis is soul development, North Node is a great placement to look for, so I included that. These are general readings though, so I do read whatever comes up, and you can take what resonates and leave what does not. I did a Celtic cross spread with the Albano weight deck for you guys this month, plus 2 catalyst energies from the Threads of Fate Oracle. The catalyst energies are going to serve kind of as the threads that weave through the Celtic cross spread. They are what anchors you so that you can stay in the highest vibration possible and use these energies to the best, to the highest exaltation that you possibly can. So if you get lost, in process this month, or if you have a wobble moment, the catalyst energies are kind of like how you can realign yourself. So we're going to start there and move into the Celtic Cross. Pulled 2 Catalyst energies, both in the reverse, but beautiful cards. I pulled the Ascension card, which has been haunting like literally everybody. I've already pulled this for like 2 people, I think. 2 other signs, I mean. Yeah, Taurus and Gemini, I think. Yeah. And the Alchemist, reversed as well. So let's look at the Ascension card. Okay, so this is Ascension. Leo, it's just ascension into the earth. And so you are leveling up in frequency. This month, what is needed is to ground yourself, you don't need to go into the heavens any farther than you already have at this time, presumably. So this is about connecting deeply with the earth, connecting with deep yin space also. Leo, you're fire, you like yang. It's easy to get out of balance, and so this is coming back into yin, right? Coming back into cultivation, coming back into the feminine, coming back into rest and reflection and reception, and the void. Yeah, reconnect with the earth this month, paired with the Alchemist, which is a manifestation energy. I think what's important here is like you have the vision, you have the goal. How can you bring it back into earth, and how can you work with the earth to help you manifest what you desire into the physical material world around you? So this is the goal here, okay? So let's look at the Alchemist here as well. Yeah, I mean, this is realizing that you are the alchemist. You are the inner alchemist, that what is outside of you is just a reflection of within, and you have the key to the kingdom, right? And so this is recognizing the inner alchemist and connecting with the earth to make what you desire real. Of course, I think what happens, particularly with active manifestors, which Leos tend to be, is, having the vision in the physical material, having the vision in the etheric realm and being able to see it and identify it and be the architect of that, I think comes relatively naturally for Leo. But I think sometimes you can just get so lost in that. And there is a reality on that plane of existence. And so it's like, yes, my dreams are real. Yes, my vision is real. But then it's like neglecting to actually bring that to earth in a way that you can actually see it in its fullest fulfillment, exaltation, right, in this lifetime, so that it can be tangible for you. This is saying don't get lost in the dream. You are the alchemist. You are the creator of your reality, and bring it to earth. Bring it to fruition. Don't let it just stay in the fantasy. Don't get lost in the fantasy. Be here now. Bring that vision to life. Okay, so that is what these cards are inviting you to focus on. Moving into the Celtic cross spread, your center point this month, we have the 5 of Wands reversed. This is a Leo energy, I believe, Leo and Saturn or something. Yeah. So Leo, this is about willpower, particularly putting it to rest. Okay, so, you guys are fighters. You guys don't give up. You guys tend to not shy away from a fight. If you need to get something done, there tends to be a nothing's going to stop me, energy with you guys, right? And so it's sort of like, but I also get the sense that there may be this habit pattern or this history, and that's fine, it's collective, this habit pattern or this history of seeing each obstacle as something you need to crush, right? You need to crush this thing that comes into your path. And I also feel like there's this expectation of obstacle as well, of like, okay, this is going to be a fight. This is going to be tough for me. I have to battle through. I have to push through. I have to fight. Maybe it's even just your inner demons. Like, I have to fight my inner demons. I think a lot of Leos get into that because, you know, Leo is about the self, you know, the path is about the self. And so, you know, needing to fight your inner demons can become this thing, and then, you know, treating each obstacle in your path as something that you have to force your way through. That mindset is no longer serving you, okay? And this is about alchemy, right? This is about the manifestation aspect of life. When you step into, the way, like, into the way of being, into manifestation as a way of being, right? You have to let go of, you know, treating things as this channel for your willpower. You know, you stop leading by willpower and sheer force of will, and you start leading by design. And when you lead by design, you have to treat each obstacle as something that is helping you on your path. You have to start taking this redirection mindset instead of this like opposition mindset where, you know, if there's a rock in the way, you go around it, you know, or you talk to the rock and you ask it why it's there. You know, everything becomes this interaction, this engagement with life instead of something that you have to fight or get past. And so this is the invitation here with this Five of Wands in the reverse, is it's saying, you know, lay that to rest, put down this mode of operation in the world of like everything is a fight. I have to fight myself. I have to fight to get what I want. You don't. The universe is working for you. And you need to just set those intentions, let the universe work for you, and treat each obstacle in your path as something that is needed to either get you towards what you really need to do, so just divert and redirect, or something there that is triggering you that you need to address within yourself so that you actually remove the block and the obstacle stops coming at you in the physical material world, okay? So that's kind of twofold here. Some of these obstacles are meant to make you look within, and instead of fighting yourself, giving that part of you that is blocking you what it needs. It's blocking you because it needs your attention, because it's in fear. You know, it's just a wounded child place within you that needs to be addressed and healed, and the needs need to be met. It's not somebody you have to fight. It's somebody you need to take care of, okay? And then the other aspect of that is, if something is really preventing you from moving forward in a certain direction, then go another way. This isn't about fighting. This is about saying, okay, that was obviously not meant for me. I'm meeting too much resistance. I'm going to go over here, okay? And that's going to set you up for way more success in the long run. So lay to rest the idea that everything's about force of will, and start thinking about this as design, and start thinking about how your designs become a conversation that you're having with the universe, okay? Everything is conspiring to help you. If it feels otherwise, it's because something's out of balance and needs to be addressed, okay? Crossing the Five of Wands is the Eight of Swords, so this is about your limiting beliefs and patterns. This is saying the only thing in your way of getting what you want is you, and I do feel that it is a mindset shift that needs to happen so that it doesn't feel like you're battling yourself or others or the world around you. You know, befriend yourself, all aspects of you. Befriend the people around you, all aspects of them, even the stuff that doesn't make sense to you or, you know, kind of boggles your mind. That, again, that's an invitation to go inward and see what is wounded within. Why are you having that kind of reaction to this person? You know, is the goal there. Yeah, just befriend everything around you, even the hard stuff. Because once you start to befriend that, it changes your relationship with it and life just gets easier, okay? So that's the goal here, is this is saying, look at your mindset, look at your limiting beliefs, look at your self-restrictions, and how can you lift them, okay? Beautiful. This is my cup of tea. Okay, deep past affecting the present. We have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. This is about putting a lot of work into something and realizing it's not for you once you're like past the halfway mark. So it's like, you know, you've had something from seeds, some projects, some ideas, some career, even a relationship. You've cultivated. And over time, it started to get overgrown. It started to stagnate. It started to not work as well as it used to anymore. And you thinking, well, I put so much time and effort into this. Was it all for nothing, right? And, you know, again, there's two answers to this question. A, no, it wasn't all for nothing. It meant something to you at that time. And it taught you whatever you needed to learn. Usually things start to stagnate or overgrow when you've learned the lessons and you can't let go. Okay, so nothing is a waste of time. Everything is meant to teach us something that helps us evolve and develop further along our path. And while culturally we can get addicted to the story of like this linear state of progress, that's not how progress actually works. Life is cyclical. Life is a spiral, okay? We return to lessons, we get something else out of it, we come back with greater depth, and it goes like this, okay? So just because you put a lot of heart, or work or effort into something doesn't mean that you need to stick with it, and it doesn't mean it was a waste of time either. Sometimes it's just like an indication that, oh, I almost had it, but there's actually something over here that I prefer. And now you can use those skills that you applied to this project to this other thing that you actually like better. And so this is an invitation to just let go. Let go of that thing that is no longer working, no matter how much time you spent on it. It's okay. Let go, apply what you've learned, and start with something else. Start fresh, start new. Okay, so, it's okay. It's okay to let go. In your foundation this month, we have the Four of Cups. Yeah. This has been haunting everyone too. Yeah, this is a time to sit. This is a time to sit and mull things over and think about where you're really at now and what you really want to do, and then how to get there. And so if an opportunity comes in that isn't for you, don't take it. And that could also just be, I'm getting a heavy emphasis again on you, on the self. So, what do you need to cut out of your life? What habit is no longer working? What is really putting a drain on your energy that you realize you don't even need in your life? What can you pare down to free up energy in a new way? Again, this is just about cutting back, cutting things out of your life. And I'm not really getting a sense of like, this isn't about, it can be, maybe you just want a healthier lifestyle, maybe you want something that's going to give you energy instead of take it away. Maybe that means your relationships are up for assessment. Maybe you need to redraw boundaries. Maybe you need to say no to certain people in your life because they're a drain on your energy. All those things, are Four of Cups energy. Mostly what I'm feeling is priority. Like, what is really going to get you to where you need to go, and what is just diverting your attention. I don't feel like it's something major that is like really hurting you, which makes Four of Cups harder because it's like, okay, there's this thing in my life and it's fine and I like it. And also, it's the thing that is taking away your energy so that you can't reapply it to other things, new endeavors, things you need to do. It could be linked to the Seven of Pentacles. It's like an old project that is taking your time that just really doesn't have the same heart and meaning that it used to, and needing to let it go. And sometimes sadness can come with that. And so hold space for that. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't let it go, So, everything's kind of up for debate at this time. How can you strip away things that aren't working for you so you can free up your energy, okay? It's a great opportunity. Sit, mull things over. I love how this guy's just sitting by the tree because, the trees take so long to grow and to form. And they're the tallest thing. They're the tallest thing in life. What's taller than a tree other than like a mountain, right? In terms of like, well, I'm an animist. I believe all things are alive. But in terms of like organic matter and toward like, this organic being of this tree, they're so big and tall. They take so long to grow. But, there's something too, just sitting and mulling things over. It helps you grow too. Not everything has to be action that you take in your life. Yes, action is important, but it needs to be balanced with really taking stock, sitting and rooting into the earth. It's the month to root into the earth, to come into your body. Okay, yeah. Crowning you this month, we have the Two of Wands. This is you designing your future. And yes, it is you designing kind of in the etheric realm. So yeah, get all the puzzle pieces together in your mind. Formulate that plan. You don't have to take action yet because this is a time to root and to form the foundation for which everything else is going to grow. But that should not deter you from, figuring out exactly what it is you want and the plan moving forward, how you're going to manifest it. So yeah, like I said before, you can't stay there. I know I said at the beginning, you can't stay in the ethereal without taking action and making things manifest in your physical material world. That's very true. However, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it at all. It does start with the idea. It starts with the plan. It starts with what do I want? And it starts with that formulation. So you will be doing that. You will be focusing on design this month. You will also just be simultaneously being here now, being in your body, being in the present moment, taking stock of what is and rooting yourself, okay? So it's just like you can't sacrifice one for the other. You have to do both. You have to hold the vision. You have to be here now. And finding that balance is what's really going to help you stay in a dynamic energy this month. While it doesn't feel like you're inactive, like it feels like you are taking action this month, it also doesn't feel like you are plummeting towards your future this month necessarily. It feels like a really good time to kind of hold the balance of both. to move along, to feel your rootedness into the earth, to continue to plan for your future, and to just take your time with it. I think that's another important thing about manifestation is it's so easy, and it trips people up all the time, is the patience thing. Is like, we don't control the timing of these things. We can control the end result, the manifestation. We can take the action we need to do to get there. We can become the person that we need to be to get there, but we don't control the timing. Whether it happens a year from now or 10 years from now, we do not control. We just have to sink into the flow and be happy with where we are now, and that's really important too. Are you happy? Are you happy with where you are now? Are you happy with who you are now? Because whatever it is you're manifesting for your future cannot be the carrot that dangles over your face, right, and promises happiness later. Because in that instance, you're not actually manifesting from a centered place. You're manifesting from a place of escapism, is I want to be happy in the future, which is just not, a good place to set your energy up. It also doesn't create the best manifestations because it's not coming out of your desire to create, it's coming out of your desire to escape, right? And that doesn't work. It doesn't work. So be with your emotions, no matter how unpleasant they are. Accept them, love them, and meet their needs. Root into the ground, be here now, address your body's needs, and hold the vision for the future. What do you want to create? Because if you can get into a place where you're happy here now, exactly as you are, then the possibilities are endless because you are simply a creator. And then you let go of the attachment too, because you're happy now. So, whenever it happens is cool. You're chilling, you're vibing, you are hanging out with this tree, right? So that is the opportunity here. New circumstance, we have the Six of Pentacles, beautiful. The way that resources are flowing in your life are also up for discussion, up for adjustment. Again, I feel like this is mostly a mindset thing because we have the Eight of Swords here. So, what is your relationship to money and resources in general? I'm feeling a lot of spin-offs, so I think, for everybody this is different. But what I am getting is a need for change. A need to change your mindset so that you improve the flow and cycle of finances and resources. Six of Pentacles has a lot of angles that I could explore with you guys, and because this feels so big, because everybody's at a different point, I want to kind of corral around what's going to make the most impact on the most people. Self-worth. Self-worth is what is coming to me. If we feel that we're not deserving of the things in our life that we won't get them. Because we're sending out this frequency that we don't deserve it. And it's not, it's not the universe seeking to punish us for our feelings of lack of self-worth. It's more a measure of if you were to receive everything that you do want, when you inherently feel like you're undeserving, it's going to fry out your nervous system. I don't think you would survive it. And I think that's often why we don't get what we want, especially not right away, because we do need to prepare a space where we can actually receive what we want inside of ourselves. And that requires a frequency change, and it requires healing. And so everybody starts at a different point in terms of, each incarnation at the same time. If you can look at things beyond one incarnation, it's a lot easier to work with the hand you've been dealt, right? Because you chose it. You chose this. So, wherever you are and however you started, whatever your degree of trauma, none of it matters. Just meet the needs of the moment. What is coming up to be healed? What needs to be evolved? What needs to grow for you right now in this day, right? And if you can just accept that, radical acceptance of who you are and where you are, again, that's where you meet flow. That's where you find happiness in the moment instead of some farther off point. That's when you stop regretting your past and you can look at it through a new lens. And so I think your self-worth is up for review. Do you feel worthy? Do you feel deserving? And do you trust the universe to deliver the things that you need when you need it? Because the thing about that is that the universe always gives us what we need. Often it just doesn't feel good. And often we don't, recognize, if we don't have the skills or the desire, we don't recognize the lesson for what it is, and so we just end up repeating the same pattern and not learning the lesson. Eventually the universe has to scream, and something pretty drastic happens in our lives, and it does not feel good. It doesn't feel like the universe is on your side, and that doesn't mean that it isn't on your side, okay? When we start opening up to the flow, when we start living in acceptance of what is, when we dare to ask for more than we think we can have, and we do the healing work to get us into a position where we can have that thing, that's when we see the universe conspiring to help us. That's when all the opportunities flood in at the right moments. That's when we sync up with these things that just feel magical and amazing because they are magic. They are magic. And so, you know, the thing about money is it's just an exchange of energy, just like anything else is, really. Venus rules love and money for a reason. It is about energy exchange between two entities, okay? And so that's what resources are, energy exchange. And if you think about the life cycle, if you think about the planet, you think about like the water cycle, for instance, you know, it rains, it drips into all the freshwater bodies, the fresh water drips into the ocean, water evaporates, it comes back as rain. That is the cycle of energy exchange. You know, when you think about, you know, like Lion King, right? The lion eats the antelope, you know, degrades into the earth, the grass is fertilized by, you know, or I think it's the lion dies, right? It fertilizes the grass, the antelope eats the grass, you know what I mean? It's this cycle, it's this life cycle. We are not separate from that. Money is certainly not separate from that. And so if we have a hoarding mentality, it throws us out of balance. If we give too much, which most people don't, like most of us, you know, the collective patterns to kind of hoard. If we give too much, though, same thing, you know, it throws it out of balance. You need to be in balance with the flow of money, and that means there needs to be a continuous outpouring and inpouring. You can't just save and not spend. That usually stops the flow. And so, you know, be smart with your money, obviously, but understand that it's an exchange, that it's a cycle, and that the more you spend money on what you truly value, actually the more money you get. The more you place a value on yourself and say, this is how much I'm worth, the more you tend to get. And so, you know, examine what you value, and examine who in you does not trust that you're going to get what you need. Okay, so anyway, I kind of went off on a rant, but it felt important, so there you go. Your ego this month, your energy, Leo, the Emperor. Just in time for Aries season at the end of March. This is an Aries energy. So you're stepping into your power in a new way this month. You're stepping into your leadership. The Emperor is very self-directive. And so what I like about this is healthy use of the Emperor is recognizing right use of will. And so, you know, when do you direct your will, to what degree and how much and where, you know? And again, Five of Wands reversed. This isn't about like sheer force of will, just using will to force your way through any barrier. When that wasn't working, and it certainly won't work now because you're stepping into this alchemy energy, okay? So where is your willpower best directed? Because right use of will does mean, you know, you're using your will to create your desire on the etheric plane. You're using your will to cultivate what needs to be cultivated to bring that into reality. So you're still using will, you're just redirecting your will, so it's not about you needing to force your way through things and about you needing to work with what is and engage with the universe like it's a conversation, right? So, you know, this is really looking at yourself as, okay, if you are the center of your reality, which you are, you're Leo. I mean, everyone's the center of their reality. If you're at the epicenter, but everything else around you matters and is its own, you know, playing field, you know, there's a balance here. There's a balance of respecting the will and right of other people and not getting in the way of their energy and not controlling them, right? That's a big one. The Emperor can be controlling. You need to keep that in check, okay? The only thing you can control is you. And that's your reactions to things, your response to things, Leo, right? So, you know, again, this is a matter of, if you are reacting negatively to something or perceiving something negatively, that is a chance to go within and ask yourself why. What need is not being met that you are having this response, okay? So that's one right, you know, measure of like right use of will. The other is, you know, making sure that if other people are under you, and like if you're an authority in any way, whether you're a teacher, a boss, a parent, you know, whatever, if you are an authority figure in any way, watch the way that you are in authority. Are you trying to get in other people's way? Are you trying to micromanage their path? Are you trying to make them think the way that you think or make them do what you want them to do, because that is not the right use of will at all. And so watch the controlling behavior, and then ask yourself how you can be an authority in the right way. How can you come into balance in terms of being the emperor, being the authority? Because that means engaging in a conversation with the people that look up to you as an authority, you know? That means, you know, as somebody who I really value being a teacher, and I'm very, very careful about the way that I teach for this reason. This is just always something that's weighing on me, because I've, you know, been in positions where people had a lot of authority and control over me, and it really derailed my life for a long time. And so as I stepped into my own leadership teacher role, I am like hyper sensitive to the way that I, you know, talk to other people. Like, most people come to me because they need information, they need healing, they need teaching, and they want me to teach them, right? But it's like I have to be really careful in terms of, like, you know, everything that I try to teach, I try to divine. You know what I mean? Like, I try to become a channel and take my ego out of it. You know, like, I try not to say, like, I am teacher. You know what I mean? I'm not the teacher. I'm the channel for the real teacher, and that is the universe, right? And so with my own personal work, the way that I connect with the earth and channel the earth's wisdom, the way that I connect with the cosmos and channel the cosmos's wisdom, that's what keeps me in balance as a teacher. And then the other thing is just, you know, I don't control anyone else's path. I don't control anyone else's timing. I can't even pretend to assume that I know what their gifts are, what their perceptions are, and what they're here to do, because everybody's path and life lessons are so different, and something that is very possible for me may be impossible for somebody else. You know, I may have a window of opportunity that like somebody else would meet a wall with, because that's not their way, that's not their path, right? And so I cannot pretend to act like I know what's best for anyone else but me. And so if you are in a position of leadership, really take a look at the way that you were leading. You know, are you leading in a way that makes people think that, or makes people feel like you know what's best for them, which is going to push them away? Or can you help them reach their own guiding light? You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. Can you negotiate, collaborate, see what people are struggling with? Like, you know, like if you're a boss, negotiate, collaborate, see what people are struggling with, see how you can help them, instead of creating this, like, you know, punishment versus reward scenario, or, you know, creating a situation where people feel repressed or oppressed by you. I don't know why this is coming through so strongly, but it is. Like, I just feel like some of you, the controlling behavior comes out of a fear pattern, generally like a fear of abandonment, or, you know, just like a fear of things not going right. And again, I'm kind of getting this hit on like a lack of trust in the universe. Like, why do you feel like the resource or the opportunity or the money isn't going to come in? Why do you feel like you're not worthy of it in the first place? You know, what is the source of the mistrust? Because that blocks your flow, not trusting the universe to deliver on what you're asking for. And then the Emperor here, you know, right use of will. This is not about willpower. This is about seeding your intentions and co-creating with the universe to really manifest your desires and your unique path and your destiny in this lifetime. So yes, you can be an authority, but mostly an authority over yourself. And if people look to you as an authority, that is them looking to you as an authority. That is not you coming in and saying, I'm an authority. You know what I mean? You don't get to control who views you as somebody that they can go to for guidance. You know what? You don't get to control that. And so, you know, take the ego out of it, collaborate, and also understand that if you have authority over anyone else, or if you're a teacher or whatever, you know, those people, they're really teaching you, not the other way around. You know, so if you can engage with life and other people around you as a teacher, that puts you back into flow as well. It's just something to think about. You know, I think you're really feeling like you're in your power, and because you're coming into your power in new and better ways, it's a good time to re-examine, you know, am I in my power in a way that is good, true, and beautiful for all beings? Okay, something to think about. In your environment this month, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. Let's look at the Nine of Pentacles first. It's in the reverse. Are you looking at what isn't working, or are you are you looking at what is? And this is a neutral question. Okay. Just take stock of where your perception is. You know, are you looking with rose-colored glasses? Are you looking at smoke and mirrors, right? Or, you know, are you looking at things as they are? Because I think that the best use of this is, okay, what isn't working and what is? Can I utilize what is as resources to create a bigger balance and bring to light, you know, bring the rest into rotation? You know, is your life in holistic balance? Do your relationships feel supportive or not supportive? Does your home feel supportive or not supportive? Do your emotions feel supportive or not supportive? Does your mindset, the things you're thinking about, do they feel supportive or not supportive? Does your body feel supportive or not supportive? Does your relationship with spirit feel supportive or not supportive? You look at all these aspects of your life and see, okay, where are my high points? What feels really good? What feels like it needs development? And can you work on the development of those things without creating a pessimistic view of it, if that makes sense? If you just keep focusing on what isn't working, you keep manifesting things not working. If you look at everything through rose-colored glasses of like, okay, this isn't working right now, but it will in the future, you know, and again, that's the Alchemist and the Ascension cards here. Don't stay in fantasy, you know. Yes, you can have everything you want in the future, but yes, you need to work with what is. And so, can you really look at that? Can you say, this is not where I need it to be? And instead of waiting for some future moment where everything's changed, can you say, what can I do right now to bring this into balance? And so, again, take a practical mindset with this, because this shouldn't be emotional. I mean, you know, your emotions will be wrapped up in this, and because you can't separate them, and your emotions should be something that you address here. Are my emotions in balance or not, right? But you do need to be able to look critically without getting attached to a specific identification with them in terms of, okay, what do I need to improve on? What would I like to improve on in my life? And what really is working? Because the things that are working, you can always put towards what isn't working. You could say, okay, if my relationships are really, really positive, in what way can my relationships support my emotions, which are not feeling so good right now? You know what I mean? So, again, it's this sense of Six of Pentacles, utilizing the resources that you do have to bring balance to what feels less supportive, okay? And in this way, you can really kind of start to balance out your life, which Six of Pentacles, again, I think that's what you're looking to do. How can you balance out your life? How can you achieve happiness right now today, okay? So that's the opportunity here. Three of Swords. I just feel this radical embracing of the things that have broken your heart. It's a very abrupt change of pace from all these cards. Like the Three of Swords fell out and I was like, oh, okay. But, and pair with the Nine of Pentacles too. You know, in terms of the things that aren't working, you know, why? Because there's emotion behind that. There's a reason why you're held back in that area. You know, what hurts and what needs your attention? I feel like the path here is, again, with this Eight of Swords, this radical acceptance of what is. If you could really accept, this is where my pain is, this is where the heartbreak is, this is where the hurt is, and you love that, like you really bring true unconditional love and acceptance to that, you're gonna heal it. You know, you're gonna heal those things. And through that healing, you're gonna gain the wisdom of the loss, you know, whatever broke your heart. There's always wisdom in that. I always think of the pots. I don't remember what culture. I feel like it's Japanese culture. I can't remember. But when the pots crack or break or whatever, that culture, they repair the pot with this like golden, I don't know what the material is, but this golden material that like repairs the pot, but you can see where the cracks are and where they had to put it back together. And, you know, the beauty in that is like seeing how, you know, the gold fills in the cracks, and it's this feeling of like enhanced wisdom and beauty. Like the thing that broke it and put it back together made it better than it ever was before. And that's what I'm feeling with this Three of Swords energy, is if you can get to a place where you really do radically accept the things in your life that have hurt you, you can discover the gift in it, the wisdom in it, and you're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel more whole than you've ever felt. You're going to feel better than ever. And that's the path. That's how you bring these into balance, is you go, I was hurt. This is the way that I was hurt. I'm giving myself all the love. Through that love, you're going to reconnect with yourself. You're going to heal your heart. And then I think what I'm feeling here really drastically is a lot of these issues are just going to go away. Like I feel like the mindset issue is just going to go away. This feeling like you need to enforce your willpower on other people or other things is just going to go away. feeling mistrust towards attracting things into your life and having the right money and resources is just going to go away. Yeah, there's some real healing to do. And it comes with accepting that you were hurt in the first place. Because that brings you back into flow, because it brings you back into truth. We're all hurt. It's okay. Stop pushing it away. The more you push your hurt feelings away, the more you continue to alienate that part of yourself. And there's a part of yourself that is hurt, that needs your assistance. And so when you push away, you're just hurting yourself even further. You're perpetuating your own heartbreak. Don't do that. Bring your hurt into the equation. Because we find wholeness that way. When we embrace all of us, even the parts that are hurt, we're still whole. You know what I mean? Because we can say, okay, I'm hurt by this, but it's here, it's front and center, I'm wearing it on my sleeve. You know what I mean? That makes us feel whole and fulfilled in the moment. Accepting the hard emotions is actually what sets us free, you know? So you have the opportunity here to set yourself free by embracing the heartbreak that you've experienced in the past. And through that embracing, being able to fully move forward. That is the most powerful card that I've felt in this whole deck. It's like if you get to this place, everything's going to change. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Wow. Kind of just want to stay in that energy. It feels so good. Okay, hopes and fears this month. Page of Pentacles reversed, Four of Pentacles reversed. Let's start with the Page of Pentacles. So the question I'm getting is, what's my first step? You know, you're going to change this month, and as you change, your dream is going to change, because it's going to move more towards creation and expression of yourself and less towards escapism. I think, you know, if you're trying to escape your emotions, this is the month to stop. Once you stop escaping your emotions, you have the whole world open to you. And so Page of Pentacles reversed, it's sort of like maybe a bit of paralysis, because you're looking at a clean sheet of paper or a blank canvas and you go, what's the first step? What do I do now? You've never been here before. You're a new you, Leo. And you may have to figure out what that means. You know, you may respond to things differently as you move through your day, through your life. And so, you know, in that sense, it's sort of like, okay, what do I want? What do I need? What is the first step? And I just want to say that, first of all, it's okay to be there. It's okay to not know. Because, you know, if you really settle and sink into your body, into the earth, and just mull things over and wait, eventually it's going to be clear, or the right opportunity will come along and you'll be able to move forward. Maybe this isn't the month to do that. Maybe this is a planning month, an integration month, a transition month, a month of discovering who you are now, you know what I mean, in inner work. So maybe you don't need to make any major changes or take action this month. So in terms of this Page of Pentacles reversed, if you're asking yourself, what's the first step? Then just ask yourself what the first step is without needing an answer right away. You know what I mean? If you can sink into that, again, just like be in your rhythm and timing and say, you know, what do I need right now? Then that's fine. You know, you don't need an answer right away. You don't need to make a move right away. You don't need to take that first step yet. Because you'll recognize it for what it is once you know, and it's okay not to know. Okay, so that's all I'm getting there, is just, I want to remind you that it's okay not to know yet, because you're not going to be there forever. And if you're really freaking out about that, why are you afraid of being in the unknown? You know, what scares you about that? Why are you afraid of not knowing who you are? Why are you afraid of not knowing what the first step is? You know, and just see where that leads you. It's paired with the Four of Pentacles. It's in reverse. You're stepping into a space where you're going to be more vulnerable because you're embracing your emotions, right? And that means needing new support, both from yourself, you know, unconditional love, radical acceptance of self. Also, you know, who are the people that you can lean on for advice, for support, for healing, for love, all that good shit. I think there's a lot of resistance to removing the shields that are keeping your heart from real connection to other people. You know, again, that can be a Three of Swords. Once we're hurt, we shield, that's it. And so in embracing your emotions is also a need to let go of the shield. Because what happens is, once you come into a better relationship with your emotions and you can face your pain and just let it be and accept and love yourself anyway and sit with those feelings, immediately what ends up happening is desire for deeper connection with others, deeper intimacy. more vulnerability, the desire. But if the shields are still up, it causes even more strife and heartache because there's this desire to connect and an inability to do so because you're blocking yourself from it. I think that's what's happening is there's shields in your way. There's shields blocking your heart from deeper connection with others. Partly because it's just an old pattern, and partly because there's still fear. There's fear of being vulnerable with others. There's fear of risking the heart again. Keep in mind that the heart, does break, and then it heals itself, and then it breaks again, and it heals itself. This is just the way. You can't hurt your heart beyond repair. It's impossible because it's just light. You can't hurt light. It doesn't make any sense. So yes, your heart can break, and everyone's does, and your heart can heal itself again. You can reestablish that connection with your own heart, and it makes it easier to break, easier to put yourself back together. And then we learn that, life isn't about, life isn't about finding this perfect happiness and joy and lack of breakage forever. It's just about the adventure of it all, of risking it all, and discovering what happens when you do. And sometimes we break our heart, and sometimes we find everything we're looking for, and both are okay, and you can always try again. You break your heart, you heal it, you risk it all again. This time you get everything you're looking for. So this is asking you, are you willing to do this again? Are you willing to live fully and freely again? Are you willing to risk your heart, to receive the love, the connection, the desire, the manifestations that you want? Are you willing to love again? Love all of life, not just other people, which is a big part of this, and not just yourself, which is a big part of this, but life. Are you willing to love life again and all that it offers? All of the ecstasy, the agony, the confusion, the excitement, the adventure. Can you love all of it? And if you can, what's next? Because that's what's going to get you the vision. Outcome this month, the Devil. This is an unchaining of yourself. Again, like the Devil's kind of a bigger energy. It's kind of a bigger version of the Eight of Swords energy. But there's the same energy, basically, in terms of self-restriction, self-limitation, putting blinders over your own eyes so that you choose not to see. It's all self-inflicted. So the outcome here, as you come into better balance this month, as you come into greater awareness of yourself, as you embrace the heartbreak and the gushiness and the vulnerability and the messiness, as you let go of control, as you engage with the universe as a teacher, as you engage with the universe as a lover, you're going to reach this Devil energy. And I think there just may be a realization of all the ways in which you have restricted yourself or limited yourself in the past, whether it was through self-shame, guilt, telling yourself you can't achieve the impossible, mistrusting those around you, not letting others in, not accepting yourself, all of those things. I think there may just be a realization of like, oh God, I really dug a hole for myself. Like I really created a bigger issue for myself than was needed. I was telling this to Taurus too. Like we reach a time, it's very sobering, but somewhere along the path, we reach a point where we realize that we hurt ourselves. Like yes, in childhood, we are dependent on others for our survival. We're impressionable and we get wounded. It's very easy to be traumatized as a child. In fact, a parent can do everything right and you'll still be traumatized as a child because the world is traumatizing to young eyes that don't know how to protect themselves and don't know how to navigate, and they've just come out of the oneness into this hard existence, right? It's just hard. Like, I think even birth is a trauma. And so, that's just part of the deal. And so, okay, my point though being is that yes, we're traumatizing children. We had no control over it. The patterns that are set in place via the wounding are the patterns that are set in place. And some of it is, our parents or just the culture around us. Some of it we come in with trauma because of the ancestral patterns, all of these things. And that's not your fault, Leo. It's part of life and it's not your fault. And once you're an adult, you are responsible for all the ways that you perpetuate your own trauma, the ways that you continue to abuse, the ways that you continue to abuse yourself, the ways that you continue to talk badly to yourself, the ways that you continue to trap yourself, the ways that you contribute to your own oppression and restriction. You know, you reach adulthood, you are an independent person, and you're doing that to yourself. All right, you are free from the reins of childhood. You run the show. You get to choose your mindset, your philosophy, the things that you do, etc. Yes, people will try to maintain authority over you, and most of us listen when we shouldn't, and that's part of this cultural issue of not being initiated into adulthood the way that they do in shamanic cultures. But you have to, because the culture is broken. You need to initiate yourself into adulthood, and because that's a self-directed job at this point in our lives, we reach a point naturally, whether it's when we're 18 or whether we're 81, or whether you're 18 or 81. Sometimes along this path you reach a point where you realize, oh, I did this to myself. I hurt myself. I abused myself. I restricted myself. And it's a moment of huge heartbreak and also enlightenment, because you're airing your truths. You say to yourself, I did XYZ to myself. And then you can ask yourself, how do I repair it? How do I remove these restrictions? How do I stop abusing myself? How do I stop hurting myself? How do I free myself from my own entrapments and live and fully live my life authentically, freely, fully? And so this is what the devil's bringing up. The devil is saying, in what ways did you trap yourself? How can you fix that now? How can you reestablish that contract with your own heart, with your own soul? And then how can you move forward in a better way? While it hurts to air these truths, it is so nourishing to apologize, make amends, and move forward. Okay, so that's what the end of the month brings you, Leo. I'm going to stop there. So if you would like to schedule something with me so that we can discuss how these are playing out in your life, come up with your plan, get clarity, all that good stuff, get support, please schedule something with me in the box below. Otherwise, hit like if you like this video. It helps out the channel. Subscribe if you want to see the next Leo video, and I will see you guys in April. Enjoy March. It looks like it's going to be impactful and fun. Like, have fun. Lighten your load. Just have fun. Ascend. Be the manifester, right? If you can handle these lightly, I know some of these topics are hard-hitting, but if you can just take it all lightly, it's just going to feel good. You're going to be more in your power. You're going to feel better. So please, just radically accept all the parts of you. You can be in radical acceptance of self and still continue to work on yourself and cultivate a better you and evolve along the path. It's just, you pull out of judgment, out of shame, out of blame, and just start to view yourself through a lens of, constructive feedback. And that will free you too, because then we stop needing something else, needing to be perfect, needing the happiness that's dangling at the end of this rainbow, right? And we can just be happy now as we are and feel whole in our fullness, which does mean the things that hurt. You can be hurt and be whole. So do it. And I will see you guys in April. Love you. Bye.